I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. That's right, we're going to be talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit here on our very first episode of Mallard Matinee. Hello, welcome to our show. Yes, this is Mallard Matinee. If you haven't watched this before, that's because this is our very first episode, so there's no way you could have seen this before.
There is no before.
Exactly. This is the first one. And we thought for our very first episode, we wanted to start it with a bang. It's a movie that I know both of us have seen countless times.
Yeah.
So many times. But before we get too far, I should introduce ourselves. He is the Daffy to my Donald. This is LewisLightning.
Yes, great to be here. I'm looking forward to doing this for a lot more movies on the way, but we're starting off with a banger.
Yeah, and like I said, this is one of my favorite movies. We've watched it hundreds of times. I am Country Boy, and it's a movie that's got a couple of ducks in it. I thought Mallard Matinee, name of our channel, maybe that's maybe it kind of fits the theme a little bit. There's no theme this month, but later down the line we're planning to do
work some themes in. Yeah,
we'll do some themes for sure. But what we're gonna be doing is gonna be talking about this movie. And we're going to be giving it a bit of a review as well, too. And maybe do some discussing about maybe some behind-the-scenes things that we know about this movie. And maybe some things that maybe other people have liked about this movie as well, too, that we've read online.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off with, I guess, what was your first foray into this movie?
So, for me, it's a little bit blurry. Like, this movie is like 1980... 88? Yeah. 1988. So, like, I was 2 years old when it came out. Obviously, I don't remember that, but for me, my memory was like being at my grandmother's, and she has tons of movies. She loves movies, and I believe that's where I first saw it. And I watched with my cousins watching this movie. So, as a kid, I just remembered for all the cartoony stuff. Like, oh yeah, all these cartoon characters. That's so funny. Oh, we got Disney and Warner Brothers characters on the same screen. Mm-hmm. Unheard of.
Yeah.
But I don't, the more adult stuff, the noir elements of this film were totally lost in my memory vault, went over my head. Mm-hmm. So that's my earliest memory of it.
So myself, again, I was 2 as well too, same age as you. So I can't say that I would have saw it in the theaters, but we had a VHS of it, and that is one of those VHSs that we wore the heck out of it. We watched it all the time. It's one of those movies that my whole family loved watching. There was so much in this movie. It's good for adults, it's good for kids, and it's a lot more adult than you even remember. If you watch it now as an adult, you're like, oh, there's a lot of layers to this movie, and there's a lot more adult themes than kids maybe shouldn't have been watching this. But kids probably won't pick up on a lot of that stuff and the bad language and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know the very first time I would have seen this movie, but watching it at home is where I remember watching it the first time on VHS. And just nonstop, always on repeat, basically.
Yeah.
So let's maybe get into some of the actors that are in this movie, starting with maybe Bob Hoskins, who is the Eddie Valiant, the main character.
He's great in like anything I can think of seeing him in. Like I love him a lot, and I don't know, like I just you associate with him a lot of other roles, like the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was a few years later, and like how that drained him. But this one, he actually seemed to like. He's playing like a hard-boiled detective in this, and like it feels so natural for him. Like you could go with a little bit more, I don't know, in shape. I don't know, like he's just short and stout. That is Bob Hoskins. Nothing but his physique. But he's not supposed to be like this barreling tough guy. But he's like a clever detective, right? And he's nosing around. But yeah, a great performance by him. I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of like a performance that you get with an actor that's working with Muppets or something like that. Like they take it just as seriously as they would a regular movie. They're not playing it up like they're a cartoon character. They're acting like they're a normal actor, and there just happens to be cartoon characters in this world that they got to play off of. And I thought he did a fantastic job, especially the interaction between him and Roger Rabbit, like the total opposites basically. Yeah. Like he's just this gruff, like angry, grizzled, drunk all the time, whereas Roger Rabbit's just bouncing around, always all crazy, zany.
And I have like a whole section in my book that I made notes on, just of like how these people are interacting with nothing. Like as an actor, there's nothing there for them to do, and like how well they did all this stuff. So good. But Bob Hoskins obviously had the most to work with nothing in that sense, right?
Exactly. And I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
So other actors, let's go Charles Fleischer or Charlie Fleischer. Charlie. The guy who does Roger Rabbit.
I had to look up him because I never knew who did his voice, and I know a lot of voice actors, and like Charles Fleischer, I'm like that Fleischer Films, I think I heard of before, but I never heard him specifically. And I was like, well, I looked him up, and he's done quite a bit of stuff, more than I knew.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it, like, because after Roger Rabbit was kind of a big hit, they did make some cartoons, and that's where most of his stuff was.
Yeah.
But he does a few other voices in this. I'm trying to remember exactly who they all were, but
he also did Benny the Cab as well too.
Benny, that was another one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite characters is Benny the Cab. One of my favorite scenes is when he drove through the dip, and he's like and he tells Roger Rabbit to move over because he wants to drive the car.
Yeah, I was like,
he's a car
driving the car.
It's such a stupid joke, but it's hilarious. It's just there's a subtle thing like that that makes me laugh. Like I nudged Lindsay yesterday as we were watching it, and it's a car driving a car. And she goes and she laughed. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I think his performance, like, they almost had Paul Rubens play Roger Rabbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they kind of kept, I guess, the idea of like the high pitched kind of crazy voice with Pee Wee Herman sort of. That's the idea they were going for originally. But yeah, they were gonna have him, but they ultimately decided he wasn't quite the right fit. So Charles Fleischer took the spot, and I think he did an awesome job. I still can't do the please. He does. I've been trying to do that for years. I never do that.
It's weird because like a lot of times I think I would have found Roger's voice kind of annoying, especially for a full movie. But no, it's not, because I think it's just there's so much emotion going on, and you're like, that's just who he is. It's so natural coming from him. It's like, yeah, that's his voice, but this is the character, right?
Yeah.
Was there anyone, like, there's a couple more actors?
I'll bring another cartoon character in here. Let's talk about Kathleen Turner as Jessica Rabbit. Every boy's maybe poster on the wall, and maybe not because she's a cartoon character. It's kind of weird. But what do you think about her? Or maybe even her portrayal?
I mean, like, okay, for the voice, she's always that sultry, velvety, sexy voice that comes out, and it's perfect all the time. Yeah. I don't know if you want to get into the animation, because that's not really actor. But like, I find Jessica was the one that I had the most issue with when I'm watching it. Like, she just has weird angles where her face doesn't look right or something.
There's sometimes almost like she has like no nose, and then other times you see like it's the swoop. It's like, okay, it's just the way she animated. Yeah.
Even her eyes, because usually like they're like always shut. But there's like the scene where she screams about, "Oh no, the dip!" and her eyes go wide, and just I mean, sure, it's still cartoony and stuff, so it fits, but it's just. It weirdens up the character. That's what I can say about it.
A little less sexy.
But as the voice actress and stuff, like, perfect. I love that. Like, it really came through. I don't know if she did her own singing and stuff.
No, she didn't do the singing. There was a second actor that did the voice for singing. But yeah, I think, again, you still kind of think of, like, what's the best looking animated character? She's going to be in the top 10 easily because she's just got the hips and the boobs and all that stuff. And I think she does have that kind of like that almost raspy kind of sultry voice. And when I think of Kathleen Turner now, I'm like, she does not fit the look from what I think. Like, because even on like Friends, I don't know if you ever saw her on Friends, she played Chandler Bing's dad. Yeah, she played his dad.
Was his dad like supposed to have a sex
thing? He's a drag. Okay. His dad was a drag queen for years, and that's who she plays. So I'm like, the fact that she can play that and still be the sexy,
I don't really watch Friends. So.
I know, but that's just like, in more recent years, this is how she's been depicted. But yeah, so I think that Kathleen Turner did a great job as her, and I think the last person I got to bring up for sure is Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom. So I mean, I know him mostly from Back to the Future, same director, Robert Zemeckis, but this is another character of his that just stands out as its own creepy dude. Like, he definitely has the creepy vibe. He does a really good job of it. Just being like this pale, and he's got the glasses all the time because you don't know what's going on with this guy, and he's got black. In some ways, I kind of associate this performance with Fester from Addams Family. Although Fester brings forth that kind of like childlike. Yeah, like, oh, he's a kid and he's doing stuff because he's like a kid who doesn't understand right and wrong morality. Whereas this, he understands, but it's just like cold-blooded, murderous intent behind his eyes. Yeah. But yeah, I think for the long, like, because I'd seen this when I was a kid, I never really associated that he was the same guy from Back to the Future. And I mean, it's quite obvious. It's not like he put on a fat suit or a whole lot of prosthetics. Like, yeah, he was. I think maybe they make up a little bit and he covers his eyes, but he basically looks the same as Doc Brown. Pretty much, yeah, and he's got his Christopher Lloyd voice as well too.
Yeah, it's not really changed much.
He creeped me out as a kid. He still kind of creeps me out now. When it's so sad when he burns that damn shoe. He puts it in the dip. Oh man, so sad. I still cry for that thing because now there's no pair, just a single shoe left.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I got notes on that too.
Yeah.
There is one more actor that I think, anyways, is worth talking about. And unfortunately, I don't know the actor's name, but Dolores.
Oh, okay. The bar waitress that also dated Eddie Valiant. Okay.
Like, I looked her up because she does really well. Like, she's that very, I don't know, 40s type of talking, the way she does it the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's very good at that. And, like, surprisingly, like, she wasn't even that old, but she looks older. Like, she looks like, they say that people back in the 40s and 30s, they age faster. And, like, I think that was the case with her.
Yeah, that's a lot of people back in the day. They were 40. They looked like they were at least 60 back then.
She did a great job, like, especially, like, the emotional moments where she's, like, talking to Eddie about giving up drinking and stuff like that.
Well, I like because she's able to kind of keep Eddie like kind of straight. She gives him the kick in the pants when he needs it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't really take his shit. Which is great. I liked her. She's a strong woman, is what she is, and she's a great actress, and yeah, she did a great job in that role. There's a whole bunch of other characters as well. They're maybe not different actors and actresses that we can mention, but like I love Baby Herman. When he drops his stogie, like, and he's like, he toots and he smacks her on the ass and all. It's like, oh, you would not expect that. You probably won't get that from a movie nowadays. No. Having a baby. And he talks about his three-year-old Willie. He's got
53-year-old lust and a 3-year-old dinky.
Yeah, exactly. There's just so many things that it's so of its time. Like, it's made in the 80s, but it's set in the 40s, so it's able to. Yeah, it's do things I don't think you would see nowadays.
The kids smoking on the tram car?
Oh yeah, he gives smokes to Eddie.
The kids are smoking already when they get on there. And he's like, hey, thanks for the cigarettes, kid. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't see that.
Exactly. No, there's so much of this movie. And like, I love all the practical effects they do in this movie.
Yes. Mixed
with the cartoon effects. Like, they made this movie harder on themselves than they needed to.
Yeah.
Like just even like simple as like the weasels, like Judge Doom's weasels, they're always carrying like practical guns.
Yeah.
They could have just animated those guns.
In the bar, there's several, like, I made a whole page here, but there's several scenes like in the bar where Jessica's singing. There's like an octopus that's serving drinks, and those are real drink glasses.
They're on strings. They're actually like being hoisted up and down.
The waiters that hold a platter with the drinks.
Yeah.
The platters and the drinks are real, but the waiters are just cartoons.
Yeah. Like nowadays, you would not see them not animate. They would animate everything because it would just be the easier thing to do.
Yeah, there's, like I said, I have a whole list. Like, very beginning scene when they come out of that cartoon and that fridge is dropped on Roger.
Yeah,
it looks like really cartoony, and then it opens up and it's live action. But Roger knocks like a chicken leg out of the thing.
Like, there's like a piece of ham in there. Like all these different things. They look cartoony.
When the ducks, Donald and Daffy, are playing on the pianos, you can see in some shots, like, they have the piano and you can see the reflection on the polished surface of it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not real, they're drawn again on there, and it's just so well done.
And like just after that, when Jessica comes out and she's walking, I noticed her dress. Like, I don't know how they do the sparkly dress. First of all, I don't know how to do that.
I think that's cell shading.
But there was also a part where the dress is kind of see through as well too. You can like see through the dress. So you can actually see like the patrons in the background through the dress, like, the one layer of dress. Like, how did they do that? I don't even know how they did that. It's insane.
So there's another thing where, later on in the movie when they're hiding in like the back of the bar from Judge Doom.
Judge Doom, yeah.
And this is something they set like a Hollywood standard by it, where they hit the light and it's swinging, and they didn't have to hit the light, right? There's no reason that they had to hit the light, but it was just to show how thorough they were being with the animation.
Yeah.
Because now that the light is moving, they have to shade the character different, they have to move the shadows on the wall to match it. None of that was necessary.
And Roger's all over that room too. He's not just in one spot where he's gonna, we're gonna animate him like this and have the shade move. No, he's jumping over here and he's jumping over there. And so they gotta animate the light moving with him all over the room, different positions.
So now, like, they use the phrase like "hit the light" in terms of like Hollywood, like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let's make things harder just to show how impressive we can be.
Make it that much more special, basically. Yeah. I love that. That is like the best part of that movie, I think, is that light thing, because just they're making it just that much more hard on themselves, and it shows. Like, it looks good. It's so well done.
And I'll just throw one more out. It was like when they're looking for Roger at Eddie's office, and he's in the sink.
Oh yeah.
But like the Toon Weasel smacks the water, and the real water splashes out of the sink onto Eddie. It's like, I'm sure they probably just put like a little hose underneath the water and just blast of air.
Well, even when Roger comes up and he's spitting the water out.
Yeah.
So there's obviously got a tube that comes up and spits water. Like they did these things just practically. And I love that. I don't know if we got any more of those cool tidbits and stuff.
I mean, I just had notes as I went through the movie, so I'd have to look through them all. But I did like also, we're talking the animation in the very beginning, because it starts off as like a classic cartoon. But it's not. Like, even the animation, like, they are so well done there. Mm-hmm. And there's shots where, like, they kind of make a 360 around a character around the room. Yeah. Which you watch Looney Tunes and stuff like that. They never did that. It's usually like a flat perspective. The background doesn't move and stuff. But you're flying around the room with, like, Roger. He's, like, on fire and stuff. And it's just, like, really impressive, well done, fluid animation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't imagine the amount of work it would have taken for the animators for this. I think they had like a bunch of different teams doing the different like sections of the movie. I think like when they go like Toontown, I think that's like one whole different team that does that as well too.
Yeah. And I don't want to like, I know we're being really positive in the movie, and there's also a little caveat there where I'm going to be like, I think Toontown doesn't look too great. Like
I think it doesn't look too great with probably the worst is that Eddie doesn't really fit into it very well.
Yeah, I'm assuming they did blue screen at the time. That was more popular then. Yeah. But you can really see he stands out there. There's also, if you watch in the very beginning with that cartoon, where they have Baby Herman in his crib, and there's a reflection on the waxed floor. At least on my copy, which is this wide, I watched it on the wide
exact
screen.
Same copies, yeah.
You can watch the reflection on the floor, and it's a little bit shaky. It's matching up, but it's like shaky, and it's, you know, maybe in the SD era, the standard definition, it wasn't so bad, not so noticeable. But I definitely noticed it now. But I mean, I think, you know, you and I are really seasoned on this. We're looking at everything now, frame by frame, that we notice it. First time watching, you're probably not going to notice that. Yeah, but
exactly. You're not nitpicking every little thing that you're going to see. I don't think. Is there any scenes that are probably your favorite scenes or that stand out?
I mean, there's lots.
I know there are. Well, bring up one or two.
I'm going to mention, I liked in the, I think it's called the Terminal Rail Station, like the bar that they have there.
Oh, yeah.
That they have these weird cast of characters. Like, there's a guy with one arm. Yeah. Judge Doom uses his sleeve to wipe off the chalkboard. Yeah. And there's a guy who's like a mute, and he's got like a little pad that he writes on. And then there's also a little person. Yeah, yeah. And it's like, why do they put all these weird people?
It's an eclectic group of people, yeah. I'm assuming the dude with one arm was from the army, because it's 1947, so it's probably after World War II, and he's probably lost his arm. I'm assuming. You kind of...
But it's just, you know, you think you'd have maybe one, but they have like...
And the dude with the toupee, too, another...
Yeah. So that was a good one. I also liked how they worked in Eddie's drinking. Like, it's not too in your face, because I guess this movie is PG or whatever.
I want to say PG, yeah.
But, like, it's not really in your face, but you notice it. Like, in the very intro, when he shows up at the set after Roger does that opening, he pulls out a drink and he drinks it and he puts it in his holster. He's got that in his holster instead of a gun. Yeah. And then, like, when he gets his $50 for his initial payment, he drinks in the office first. He drinks in the office at Arcade Maroons. And then when he gets that check, he goes back. But before he even goes in his house, he runs across the road to the bar to get, like, it's not in your face. They don't, you know, people make a lot of jabs at him too. And I love the one where Roger ends up in his office and he's like, wait, did you tell anyone you were here? It's like, no, nobody. Well, except what? Except what? It's like, well, I didn't know where you lived. So I asked the newspaper boy, but he didn't know. So I asked the greengrocer, he didn't know. I asked the baker and the butcher, nobody knew. But I asked the liquor store owner, he knew.
I didn't know where your office was, so I asked the newsboy. He didn't know, so I asked the fireman, the greengrocer, the butcher, the baker. They didn't know. But the liquor store guy, he knew.
It's like all these jokes like that.
Exactly.
But you can throw in some too. Like I could go on and on.
I was like, there was something. Yeah, like just even like little subtle jokes that I love as well too. Like early on in the movie, after the whole intro, and then you see Eddie kind of in Maroon's office, and then he gets scared by Dumbo. And then everyone's like, oh, it's great. He works for peanuts. And it's like, that's a great joke because it's like saying that someone works for cheap and he's literally a Dumbo working for peanuts. He throws in some peanuts. Like, that's just a subtle little joke that you see that kind of stuff littered throughout this movie. It's just awesome. And like, I love the scene when they're in the Acme warehouse and they find like Marvin Acme's his dead body and stuff, and they're like the shoes get out and stuff like that, and they're playing with all these different toys, like the hole that like, they throws a hole in the wall and the guy like sticks his hand through there, and then there's also like the punching glove mallet that the guy shoots as well too.
Yeah,
it's just cool seeing all these things. Like this is definitely like an Acme warehouse would be like the Wile E. Coyote would be using or something from Looney Tunes. So I just love seeing stuff like that.
And I like a bunch of lines that I love from the movie, like when Eddie's trying to get into the club where Jessica's at. He's like, "What's the password?" Walt sent me, and it's like Walt Disney is the joke. It's a good one. I also liked when he's talking to Betty Boop, and like, oh, Jessica Rabbit comes out. And, you know, he thinks at first he doesn't know what she looks like. He thinks it's a rabbit.
Yeah.
And she comes out, and it's like this hot woman, and he's like a gaw. Mm-hmm. And then he's like turns to Betty Boop, and he's like, "She's married to Roger Rabbit." And Betty's like, "Yeah, what a lucky girl!" Like she's the one that's out of her league.
Yeah, Lindsay laughed at that too. And she, oh, what a lucky girl.
Yeah. Or like, I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. It's a classic one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where's your brother, anyways? He looks like a sensitive and sober fellow. It says to him, like, there's so many of those. Check the probate. That was the other one. Check the probate. Oh, my uncle, he had a problem with his probate too. He went to the doctor and he'd drink a lot of water and take these huge pills. Like,
not prostate, you idiot.
Probate. Or then when he's giving Roger a drink at the bar, he's like, "Here, I think you want this drink."
Yeah.
So, "I don't. You do. I don't. You do. You do. I don't."
Yeah, it was a total Bugs Bunny maneuver. Yeah.
When I say I do, I do. Like so many goes. I'm like, I could go on forever, but
yeah, no, it is honestly just littered with it. This is one of those movies that is just you're never gonna find another one like it.
One more I'm gonna point out, just because I it's an adult thing, but you don't even really notice it, is when Roger's in the bar and he does do the shot and he starts going off. Like Eddie knows what's coming and he goes down, and Dolores is standing up there and he reaches up between her cleavage, like grabs her by her shirt, puts her down, like. Wow, for two actors to do that, like...
Yeah. How many takes did he have to do?
That's impressive. Yeah. I also like the illusions with, like, you know, you have Marvin Acme is the one guy, which Acme's a big thing in Warner Brothers, like, all the time. And I guess RK Maroon is another thing they always say. What a maroon in those cartoons, and then you get to see that a guy named that.
And it's crazy when you think about the fact that Disney worked with Warner Brothers on a movie like of this caliber, and there's other, I guess, studios as well too. Like I don't know what Betty Boop would be considered, and there's like I want Droopy Dog as we say as well as So there's a whole bunch of different like animation studios working on this one movie, and it's essentially a Disney movie. But there was the caveat that Warner Brothers had that they have to have. If you're gonna have Mickey Mouse, then Bugs Bunny has to be in just as much. Same with Daffy and Dolly. If you're gonna have your characters, our characters have to have just as much screen time, which is totally fine. It's great. They have great characters. All of those. And my favorite scene is probably still like Daffy and Donald doing the dueling pianos.
It's great.
It's awesome.
There's a little thing with Felix the Cat. Like they want to get Felix the Cat in. I guess they didn't have time or something. But if you look, like the tunnel to Toontown, right above it, there's a little, I don't know, like carving that shows Felix on there.
Yeah, I always wondered why they had that, but we never saw Felix in the movie.
I think it's Felix and Oscar the Rabbit. I think there's two faces on there. I think that's who they were.
They both look like Felix to me, but maybe it was. It was like the 1930s style of animation cat, but it looked like Felix, and I don't know why they would have had them without them in the movie.
So another thing that I saw when Eddie's in Toontown and he's trying to run away from Lena Hyena, and he goes like to the bathroom. Before he falls, you can briefly see on the wall there's some bathroom graffiti, which it says, "For a good time, call Allison Wonderland. The best is yet to be." But I mean, you think the best is yet to come. Yeah. And Allison is like one word.
Yeah, not Alice.
But there's some things that I don't like how Judge Doom, that shoe, he burns that shoe in the dip for no reason. Yeah. He didn't commit a crime.
It was to show that he could do this to Roger Rabbit.
But there's a bunch of cops there, and you think, like, so do the cartoon characters not have any rights?
At this point, they're in this movie. They do mention that they basically are like second-class citizens that don't have rights.
And that's a big thing because this was based on a book. This movie is Who Censored Roger Rabbit is the book that's based on, which is supposed to kind of make like the cartoon characters be the minorities, black people or whatever. That's why all the waiters were penguins in cartoons. There's no human ones there. But yeah, if you take that into effect, maybe that's why they just burned the shoe to nothing for no reason.
Yeah, maybe just didn't think of it as a living being, basically.
And another thing that kind of nitpicks, my nitpick, is that Eddie was involved in that case where a bank was robbed for a zillion simoleons, they say, in Toontown, never got solved. But yet Judge Doom shows up in Toontown. He's buying he owns Cloverleaf. He's got all this. No one's putting anything together there. Like that was just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. And as a kid, I always kind of thought it was kind of out of Eddie's character at the very end when he starts doing like the juggling and the music stuff. But
it's not.
No, it's not. It's not. Because after rewatching it multiple times, and the last couple times I watched it, I'm like, oh, okay. He grew up in a circus. Like him and his brother were clowns before they became on the force. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's totally in character. He just been so down in the dumps because his brother died a few years ago, so that's why he's been so depressed and not himself. Otherwise, yeah, he probably was this happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah. When he's in that part too, he like bounces up and he hits his head to that light socket and it shocks him. Like, did he know that was gonna do that? Like,
did he calculate all these things he was gonna do?
It could have killed
the vase coming and falling on him, and
yeah, it was just crazy.
And it's also like when you're in Toontown, are you a cartoon? Because the things that he does in the elevator, like he gets smushed down to the ground, or he gets slammed up, and then he slides out, and like. Are you like indestructible when you're in Toontown? I don't know. What are the rules?
Yeah.
It's not explained. I don't need it to be explained though. I don't.
Is it like Space Jam where it's like now that you're in their world, you have the properties of a cartoon character as well?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, cartoon characters are always cartoon characters no matter where they go.
Yeah, exactly. When they're in the real world, they can still do their zany, toony stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered this. We never saw what does Judge Doom look like as a toon. What does he look like without that mask on?
I do like even before he takes you kind of get any.
It's not a nitpick. It's just something that I've always wondered.
His teeth, I always like that because they are very like straight, too straight.
Yeah.
And like how you draw cartoon characters, lines, and his teeth are just
pure
like
white.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like you think that would be kind of a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like there's kind of some hints and stuff too, like when he's in the bar when they spill the dip over.
He backs away, yeah. He's like, a little startled.
It's on your shoe, whatever. But yeah, he's very cautious about that. And then, like, even when he's there in the ending scene in that warehouse, and he gets bumped, and he like starts holding his eye, but you don't know why. Like, did he get hurt or whatever?
Or when he's showing his toony self too, he pulls out the glove. He's got a big anvil.
Well, he can change it.
And then he can have a big giant saw as well. So like, what is he? Is he like just malforming? Like, is he just changed to whatever you want?
I've seen some theories about this, like pistol possum or something possum.
Oh yeah, the poster that's in Maroon's office.
That was something to do with him.
I heard that too.
Because his gun is super long and it mirrors over it when he's in like gonna shoot.
I've heard that rumor as well. I heard another rumor of another character too, but. This all is rumors, and I don't know if I'll ever get it.
Apparently, there's some comics that like go more into the character that he was supposed to be, but nothing that's definitive from what I understand.
Yeah.
Or canonical.
Yeah, it's just fan hearsay and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else stand out that you want to say before we do kind of maybe a review and giving it a grading and stuff like that? Another thing that we do in our show as well too. We're gonna do something called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly as well too. So we're gonna talk about something in the episode in the movie that we really liked, like one of our favorite things, something that we maybe didn't like so much, and something that maybe stood out. Maybe it was weird, or it didn't. It might not be weird. It might be good. It might be something that we just want to talk about.
I got just two more things, and they're both about Jessica. Well, in a way about Jessica, so that
two things about Jessica.
I
think I know what they are.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. So how are cartoon characters made? Because they never show anyone actually animating anything. They're filming them.
Yeah.
So, but she's saying she was drawn. So who drew her? Are they drawn once and that's their birth?
Yeah, I always wondered this too. Like, and then like, what if you draw them differently? Is that like a different version of them that exists as well in that world? there's too many questions you don't really want to ask, I guess. I'm okay not knowing these things. I like having the mystery of all this stuff.
And then the other part is after Jessica meets with Eddie in his office, and he kind of gets caught with his pants down in there. They leave, like him and like she leaves first, Jessica leaves first, and then Dolores, who's upset with him, they run onto the street. But you see Jessica like in a vehicle, and she's like sitting there
listening to the conversation,
and she kind of has like a smirk. And I don't know if she's just trying to figure out what Roger is. Like, that's my guess. Because we know by the end of the movie that she's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, she made some questionable choices, but
yeah. Patty cake.
Cartoon logic. Yeah, that's a very adult moment there.
Exactly.
But yeah, like some questionable choices. Like, why was that there? I feel like there was something else that was supposed to fit in there, that maybe Jessica had something else going on, but we never see it. And then the disappearing, reappearing ink. That's a jerk move, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
Acme,
look, it's gone.
Do the dick.
Comes back, it's like, you just ruined my suit, man.
Exactly.
It works out for the story. And how that effect where the it's a white page and then suddenly it all just appears.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's live action, so I'm wondering how they did that, because you have the makeup on there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they just had like a kind of like a mirrored surface or something, that they turned it, angled it slightly, and then you could see the words.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they did that.
Yeah,
never thought about that. The practicality of that one.
But yeah, that was the other thing that I saw. And it's weird how that was written in disappearing, reappearing ink, but yet it's like typewritten.
Yeah, so he like put it into his typewriter maybe specifically for this reason.
And it seems to have different, like, how long it lasted, right? Because that that thing was written.
Yeah, it was before he squirted him, I think, with the ink, didn't it?
Well, you just see it in his pocket.
Yeah.
When he's with Jessica. So how long ago? Like, did he just write that? But Herman wasn't there, and Herman knew about this for ages and stuff. It's just weird. Anyways, like I said, I could nitpick some little things. Doesn't ruin the movie overall.
No, you're just thinking of things that you don't even need to think about, because it's not even important.
I've seen it like 50 times.
Yeah,
and just like,
that's what it is. Now you're just thinking of things like, wait a minute, how did that? Okay, that doesn't. Okay, that's all it is.
I can point out. So, we were kind of talking about the characters. We don't go over that again, like Droopy Dog and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of characters, like we said. Betty.
There's like the Brer Bear from Song of the South. I noted some of them. There's the Reluctant Dragon, which is another.
Okay.
Woody
I didn't
Woodpecker.
know. I was trying to think what that dragon was from. I didn't know.
I recognized Mr. Toad, Woody Woodpecker. Yeah. And there's some other ones, like there's a clown you'll see who's got a really weird face, and I know he's from like some production company, but I didn't bother looking him up because I don't know what they are.
I read somewhere too that like when Warner Brothers was allowing them to use their characters, they were also kind of debating within themselves what version of their characters they want. If they wanted to have their characters looking like they do now in the 1980s, kind of promote themselves, or how they looked back in the 1940s. And ultimately they went to the 1940s kind of look for those characters, which is the right idea, because it's a period piece, so you want to kind of have it match the period. Which so I don't know if you want to go with the good, bad, and the ugly, or if you want more stuff to say before that.
No, we can go with the good, bad, and the ugly.
Okay, let's start with the good. Let's get the good.
So I got a couple of things for the good, like the blending of the animation with live action. Like the hit the light thing was so apparent in this movie. There's so many times they're working off nothing. Like there is a scene where Roger's like in a back alley and he sits on a crate and he pulls out his wallet and he's looking at the photos, and it's like, okay, what they are filming is a live action wall and a crate that's rocking. Someone's sitting there with a camera filming this. Or the scene with Jessica Rabbit singing, and like she goes to that Marvin Acme, she pinches his cheeks get pinched. Yeah. She pulls his handkerchief out and rubs his head. Like, how they did all that was fantastic. That is in my good column.
I know, I don't know if they had to use him in his suit a lot, but I know Fleischer was on set a lot in like a Roger Rabbit outfit.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of it he would have actually been doing in the scenes, because he would have been a lot bigger than Roger Rabbit is. Yeah. So how would they have fit that in there? I'm not too sure.
He said he did it more for him, so he could feel like a cartoon, get really big. That's what I read. Yeah. Anyways, so like you'd have the big hands and everything. Another thing, I love the noir story and the 1940s setting. It's like, it's weird that it's kind of both Dick Tracy and like Looney Tunes in one in that way. Yeah. Like, and that contrasts the human and the cartoon element, right? Like, because definitely Eddie is this noir element, and Roger and all that other stuff is the cartoon stuff. But I liked it. Like, there's very few noir movies, detective-ish movies that kind of fit that bill that I actually like, and this one's a standout. My final one for the good is the variety of cartoon characters. It's just, as a kid, it's so amazing to see them all. And I know, like, we have friends who are like, oh yeah, I seen that Chip and Dale. Rescue Rangers, and they compare it, and it's like, yeah, that one just feels like cameos for the sake of cameos to laugh at.
And it's a fun movie. I don't get me wrong, I do like that one.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's a fun movie. And it does do some good things, but it does definitely like cheat in a lot of ways. Like it does a lot of things like they don't do the practical mixed with the real things a lot of times. Like I'm talking about, like they didn't even animate Chip. Like they made him 2D, but you can tell he's still a 3D model. It's not even real. So it is a fun story, but it's more of like it's not even like a sequel. I want a real sequel to this. I'll say that. I want a real sequel to this. It's almost like a, I don't know, what do you say, like an honorary sequel sort of thing? Spiritual. It's like a spiritual sequel sort of thing. And it's decent. It's not nearly as good as this. People need to watch this. If they like that, they'll love this.
And they've talked about doing a sequel to this for ages, but it's like the magic of getting Warner Brothers and Disney and all these other companies on the same page. Because I think like the rights for this movie are still like shared between them, as far as I know.
I don't know. I think Disney basically owns all the rights because they even have the Toontown in Disneyland with Roger Rabbit and all that.
But there is, I think it's like it's Touchstone's Pictures, I believe.
Buena Vista, I think it was.
Amblin Entertainment, or like because Spielberg had something to do.
Produced it, I believe. Yeah. I think it's Vista.
Amblin Entertainment. You can go on Touchstone.
Yeah, Touchstone. I knew that shit. Touchstone, yes, that's an offshoot of Disney. It's one of their Disney subsidiaries. So I'll do my good, and my good. You already touched on it. It's the practical mixed with the live action stuff. There's just so many scenes. Like I mentioned, like the Weasels having the guns. Like how do they make the guns move around and have them animate? Yeah. Have them holding it. They could have just drawn guns in their hands. Or like even like practical, like one of them gets like a plunger to the face. They could have had an animated plunger. They could have had all these things could have been animated, but they made it real to make it. It just makes everything fit that much more. It makes it feel like it's more of a mixture of the two. Like it's a good blend. So my favorite was that, and then my other favorite is the Donald and Daffy battle. The dueling pianos is my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So let's go to maybe the bad. Well, something that stands out is not so great for you.
For me, I just had the one bad, and that was the animation. Sometimes, I think it's mostly the HD upgrade that you notice these little things where, I mentioned before about Baby Herman's crib, how like the shine, the reflection in the wax floor is kind of shaking, or even with like the part where Lena Hyena is like running at Bob Hoskins, and he picks up the traffic line, whatever you want to call it, the center line, and moves it to the wall. The traffic stuff kind of moves with the frame. Like he moves it to the wall, and like the camera pans slightly, so that pans with it, which it shouldn't. Yeah. And then the line goes over the wall slightly on the bottom. And it's just like,
I think it's because you're blending Bob Hoskins in with animated, and it doesn't always line up quite right. It's not as easy to do, but the reverse.
Because everything else is so good with the animation. When you see something like that, it stands out.
Yeah,
and it does. That was the one thing that kind of bothered me. And it's not huge either. Like it's just those few times it comes up, you notice it once you're so good. Like there's other times, like I was mentioned before, he's at that Roger has those photos in his wallet. Yeah. They even put like his stitching. The stitching gets worn in some places. Like that's a nice little touch they put in the animation. So when you see something that doesn't look good, then you're like, a bit iffy.
Yeah. So my bad, I guess, or do you have more bad? Sorry.
No, I only had the one.
So yeah, my bad. I think it's maybe a little bit of a convoluted story of the Cloverleaf and Judge Doom, and like even now I'm always thinking like, so how did he have all this money and where did
he rob the bank?
I guess, and I don't know. I thought it was never clear. I always still am watching the movie. I'm like, okay, Judge Doom killed Maroon, right? Yes, he does. Yeah. It is him. There's a little bit at the very end when he's doing like his rundown of everything that he's did, and he's telling him that was a little bit slower for me when he's talking about all the stuff, all the backstory and all that stuff. That it slows down a little bit. It's good. I want to know all this stuff, but it wasn't in a fun way like the rest of the movies. And that's very niche.
Just to make a freeway. That was all it was for.
That's what it is. And I don't think as a more kids movie that doesn't sound like a fun idea.
And that's probably in a sense I agree. that like you get so caught up in all like the toony zaniness and like the characters between themselves and the animation and stuff going on that you kind of might miss these things about like Cloverleaf. Like they show in the beginning that red car getting a Cloverleaf sign put above the station.
Yeah.
And then you know the news report talks about how they bought something else out. I can't remember what it was. And he puts the connections together, but you're not really paying attention to most of that stuff.
Yeah, so it was mostly the Cloverleaf stuff that is kind of a negative for me, but it's very minor negative. And then an ugly, something that stands out as maybe weird or just stands out for you.
I had nothing. To me, the way I defined ugly, it was like something that really hurt the movie. I don't think there's anything that really hurts this movie. I think it's pretty solid. I have nothing for an ugly pick.
So see, I'm trying to not make it as a negative thing. So ugly, I'm thinking of just something that is just, it just stands out. Like it for me, the thing that stood out is Lena Headey. I was always like, so we go into there and we're thinking, okay, it looks like Jessica Rabbit, and then she's just this ugly dog face looking woman. It was a man. Yeah. I just think she stands out of the whole movie as this weird character, and then she chases after him like. Who is this character? And why is she obsessed with Eddie Valiant all of a sudden? And then all of a sudden he falls down to the ground.
She's there.
And she's there. Like, okay, what's going on? Why is she chasing him? What is the point of her? I don't hate it. I just think she stands out in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little bit out of left field. Like she just shows up there, but it's not like she has a big role. Like she has probably as big of a role as Droopy Dog does. Like just shows up.
I'm not even saying it's a negative thing. It's not gonna. She just stands out as something in the movie that seems like it doesn't fit as well as everything else does.
Yeah, but she was an original character along with Benny, Roger, Jessica.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we can get to maybe our reviews then, if you want to do a number. We're doing this from 1 to 10, and I don't want any...
Half intervals.
Yeah, half intervals. We don't want any kind of crazy, like, 8.1s and stuff like that in there. I don't know if you want to go first.
Sure.
Being the guest on my episode or whatever this is.
Your movie choice?
Yeah, my movie choice.
I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10.
Like, if anything, it'd probably be somewhere in between that and 9.5. But like I said, I like the animation just now, you know, I notice it more. Same thing with those just, it's a bunch of little nitpicks, right? It's close to being perfect. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's so close that it's almost perfect. Like you said with the story could have been slightly more, I don't know, easy to understand and like a little bit larger in scale, so it was more comprehensible, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
But I still think this is a solid movie and great for so many different ways, so many different reasons, so many different ways. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't give it anything less than a 10 out of 10. Yeah. It's just one of those movies that they did basically everything right. Like I said, we've said maybe some negative things, and those are just slight nitpicks about this movie. Those are like the minors, little things, because we have seen it so many times. I love this movie so much. I want to get merchandise for this movie. I want to have like a whole room dedicated to Roger Rabbit. It's just such a fun movie.
I feel like if anything, the reason mine's lower is because, you know, familiarity breeds contempt. Because I've seen it so often, like I notice all these little things, like I don't like that little, but it's little things. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why I'm a little bit lower. But
okay, and you know what? Before we go, I want to do a couple of readings of maybe some reviews that I saw online that people might have said about this movie, whether good or bad. So I go to Letterboxd. I do some reviews on Letterboxd. So go ahead and check me out. I'm CountryBoy_9 on there, I believe. But let's go. I'll look at a 0.5 review that somebody put. Just some random person. The movie scared me as a kid, so I think it sucks. That's their whole review. That's a great review. A half star because it scared you as a kid? Wow, that's a real deep, real deep. And then I got a 5-star review, I'll say, that's this person put. Hollywood has been chasing the creative success, gonzo energy, delightful humor, and bravado of this film for decades now on multiple levels. Hang it up. Kathleen Turner's voice work and the animators that brought Jessica Rabbit to life are the MVP. Not a detail out of place, not a wasted moment, a high point of the Hollywood form, is what they said. And I basically just reiterate what they said. Yeah.
So I knew he was going to be on Letterboxd. I'm like, I think those are all user-made reviews. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm going to keep mine just to like, you know, the big critical websites, magazines. I mean, magazines at the time, they didn't have websites back then. So I went to Metacritic, pulled my a couple of reviews that I felt kind of you'd understand them. Even if you didn't agree with them, you could understand like this point of view. From the LA Times, dense, satisfying, feverishly inventive, and a technical marvel. But animation aside, the treasure of the piece is Hoskins' pungent, visceral comic performance. A score of 100.
100. Pungent is even in the.
Yeah, so they gave it a perfect score. They gave it on Metacritic.
Oh, wow.
From TV Guide magazine, while flawlessly delivered, it's overkill. So loud and excessive, it makes our head swim. It's like a sumptuous banquet composed entirely of fast food. Fills you up, but entirely forgettable. Score of 60 out of 100.
Oh.
So Metacritic's at 100.
Yeah.
Variety magazine. An unparalleled technical achievement, yet the story amounts to little more than inspired silliness about the filmmaking biz where cartoon characters face off against cartoonish humans. Score of 60 as well.
Oh, lame.
But yeah, like
So
I said, I understand, the viewpoint that this is just a bunch of, they said fast food that fills you up as forgettable. Because they're just so, these are cartoon characters doing whatever, and they're not really paying attention. But there is a deeper story when you look at it.
Yeah, it really is.
And then like the silliness with cartoon characters, like I feel like those people can't appreciate a movie with animation without saying this is for kids.
I feel like there's depth to this movie. There really is. It's not just about throwing you all these different cartoon characters all at once and making it zany and crazy and happy and go lucky. There's some depth. There really is a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, those were the professional.
I hate those reviews.
Yeah. Well, the first one was good.
Yeah, the first one was great.
He was very pungent.
Yeah, he looked pungent.
They say one time like you smell like a brewery or something like that when he comes in.
Well, he's all sweaty sometimes. He's got like you can see the shoulder hairs and stuff. Like he looks like a pungent
shirt off.
Yeah. But that I guess is gonna do it for our review and discussion about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I want to know what you guys think about this movie, what you think about our episode, about what you think about our discussion. But before we go, let's introduce ourselves, start the review.
I'm LewisLightning. You can find me on YouTube as The LewisLightning. It's all one word. And you can find me on Twitch as The LewisLightning as well.
You can find me all over the place. Like I said, Letterboxd is CountryBoy_9. Also a bunch of different places as CountryBoy9er, right there. Right here on YouTube, where you can find me unboxing stuff, certain videos that I make. I have a lot of fun doing those. And on another channel, the two of us that are on, with another fellow friend of ours, Wasted Opinions. Go ahead and check that channel out as well, too. We have a lot of fun.
Few reviews, but a lot of just random crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Crap in the best sense of the word.
Good craps. Yeah, they're good craps.
Yeah.
Not the real gross kind.
The kind that afterwards you're just like,
satisfying. Yeah. Anyways, that's how we're going to end our Roger Rabbit talk. Craps. All right, we'll see you later. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Today, that's right, we're talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit. Try that again.
That's going in.
Oh, why did it do that? Does it do that?
It just, I think it's the recording. Like
okay,
the
okay. I'm not bad. I'm just drawing that. Oh, fuck. This is what I do in my fucking usual show.
I think
it's probably still going.
Excuse me. Okay.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawing that way. That's right. Today, in our inaugural episode of... What the hell's the show called?
Mallard Matinee.
My gosh. I'm all over the place here. Mallard Matinee. I was going to say Wasted Opinions.
I know it's a touchscreen, but whatever. I'm pretty sure it's going.
Holy shit. Okay. This is... okay, ready to start.
Take 4.
15.